Hello, today we shall start a new chapter called the tissue. As we know that the plant body, like the all living things, are made up of cells, and cells are organized in a way to perform the functions. There are various functions in the plant body. It may be of different kind, either it is mechanical or the function is for the growth of the plant, and hence the cells are modified in different way to perform different functions. So the group of cells that originates, their origin is of same nature and perform the same function are called tissue. So the tissue are different in different plant organs. They may be able to give mechanical strength to the plant, or they are for the conduction of food material and water, or for the growth in the length or the breadth of the plant. So, on the basis of their functions, the tissues are divided into two main groups. First is the meristematic tissue, and second is the permanent tissue. The meristematic tissues are those tissues in which the capacity of division does not ceases. They always divide, and hence they are able to give the plant to increase its growth, support the plant in the growth, or the different types of secondary structures are formed. So this meristematic tissue have some characteristics. They are of thin walled. Generally the cells of meristematic tissues are of thin walled. They are elastic and they are found large vacuoles. They do not contain reserve food material. They have conspicuous nuclei. So there is a capacity of growth in them. They are flexible in the nature, and they have the abundant protoplast in them. So they have the capacity of division. These are the chief character of meristematic tissue. The meristematic tissue always divide, and they are of two kinds. First, the primary meristematic tissue, and the second is the secondary meristematic tissue. The other kind of tissue that are known as permanent tissue, they do not have the capacity of division. They have to perform different functions. They have to give mechanical strength to the plant. As we know, the plant is always susceptible due to as many parts of the plant, higher plants, are in the air, and so due to pressure of the air, the wind, they have to tolerate stress and strain. So there are different types of tissues which are responsible for the mechanical strength, to give the plant mechanical strength. So, as due to these tissues, the plant bodies are not distorted. There are not any break due. They tolerate the stress and strain of the air pressure. And the second function of the permanent tissue are to conduct the food materials as well as the water in the whole plant body. So the permanent tissue are of three kinds. First, mechanical tissue, they give the mechanical strength, and the second is the conducting tissue that is responsible for the conduction of water as well as the conduction of the food materials synthesized from in the leaf, and the water from the ground to the upper part of the plant body. The third type of permanent tissues are also found that are secretory in nature. They secrete various kinds of chemicals for their protection as there are various type of glands, nectaries and lactiferous glands. These are the different type of secretory tissue which we will read one by one. The first is the meristematic tissue. As in the permanent tissue there is no capacity of growth, division. Meristematic tissue, in the meristematic tissue there are three kinds of meristematic tissue. The first is apical meristem, primary meristematic tissue. The first is the apical meristem, which is located at the stem apex or the root apex and responsible for the growth of the stem and the root. They divide, and due to its division the plant grow in length, the root grow in length, and hence they are capable of the division and are located at the stem at the apex, shoot apex and the root apex. The second is the intercalary meristem. They are intercalated in between the permanent tissue, the primary tissue that are found from very beginning, that is the xylem and phloem. The xylem is responsible for the conduction of water and the phloem is responsible for the conduction of food material. So these tissues are intercalated between these primary tissue, xylem and phloem. And in some plants, as at the nodes of the grasses, these tissues are found. They are found at the leaf bases of some gymnosperm like Cycas and Pinus, and it is also found at the nodes, internodes of the mint plant. So the location is different in different plant. So their location is different. They are actually formed by the apical meristem, but due to formation of the organs, they are sidelined and hence they are known as the intercalary meristem. The third is the lateral meristem. The lateral meristem is found at the lateral position of the stem, and they are responsible for the secondary growth. As for example, cambium is located in between the xylem and phloem tissue, so it is the kind of the lateral meristem, and it is the cork cambium is also a kind of lateral meristem. So these are the meristematic tissue. The meristematic cells of the cambium divides and give rise to the fascicular cambium, which later on became meristematic and form the interfascicular cambium, and cambium ring is formed, and hence secondary growth takes place. So these are the primary meristems. The secondary meristems are those meristems which are formed later on, and as for example, the interfascicular cambium, the cambium ring is formed, so it is formed after sometimes when the plant become mature, and hence these meristematic tissue are known as the secondary meristem. Cork cambium is also a secondary meristem. So cork cambium it is the lateral meristem, but it is of secondary kind, so secondary meristem. So these are the types of the meristematic tissue. Now we shall start to some brief account of the permanent tissue. The permanent tissue, as we know, the first is the mechanical tissue that give strength to the plant. In the permanent tissue, the mechanical tissue, in the mechanical tissue there are three kinds of mechanical tissue. The first is the parenchyma, in which the cells are isodiametric and thin walled, and it is made up of the cell wall of the parenchymatous tissue is made up of cellulose and pectose. So they are elastic, and in most of the plant body they are found. When in some cases in the parenchymatous tissue, chlorophyll is also found for the act of the photosynthesis, and then these parenchymatous tissue are known as the chlorenchymatous tissue. In some aquatic plants, the parenchymatous tissue they change their structure and look like the stellar formation as the star, and in between these cells there are air spaces, as for example nymphia. So this type of tissue in which air spaces are found, this type of parenchymatous tissue are known as the parenchymatous tissue. The second type of the mechanical tissue is chlorenchymatous tissue. In most of the dicot stem, the hypodermis is found to be chlorenchymatous, and at the corner there is found thickenings, and these thickenings are made up of cellulose and pectose to give the mechanical strength to the plant. To face the distortion, to face the air stress, these tissues are located, and as for example they are found in the hypodermis of the dicot stem. So, and the lignin is not found. here they are never lignified. So this is the, in some cases, chlorophyll is also found in chlorochimatous tissue, and then they act as the photosynthetic tissue and perform the duty of photosynthesis. The third mechanical tissue is the sclerenchymatous tissue. The sclerenchymatous tissue are generally hexagonal, and there is the thickening of lignin and suberin. The sclerenchymatous tissue is of two kinds. First, the fibers. That fibers are like the fiber with tapering end, and they are responsible to give the mechanical strength to the plant. In the monocots plants, the vascular bundle is scattered, and around the vascular bundle there is the sheath. That sheath is made up of fiber, and in the some plants the pericycle has the sheath of fiber, the sheath of sclerenchymatous fibers. So the fiber is narrow structure having the tapering end and have the small lumen. In the secondary wall of these fibers, some pit are located. So this is the structure of the fiber that gives mechanical strength. The second is the stone cell or sclerites. They are chiefly found in the fruit wall or the seed coat of the plant. As for example, in the plum, it is found around the seed, and in the pears the fruit is in the pears the fruiting body contains very many kind of sclerites. So these sclerites are of different kind. First is the brachy sclerites, and these brachy sclerites are found in the fruit wall as well as the seed coat of the plants. The flesh of the pear is also made up of the brachy sclerites. In some leguminous seeds there are other kinds of sclerites, as for example bean, and they are of rod shaped, and they are known as the brachy sclerites. So the structure of the sclerites are different. In some cases they are of a structure like the bone, and hence they are known as the osteosclerites, as in Hakia. Hakia is a plant in which osteosclerites are found. In some cases they are like the star-shaped stellate in nature, and hence they are known as astrosclerites. So these are the different kind of permanent tissue which are responsible to give the mechanical strength to the plant and are located at various places according to their function. The other kind of the permanent tissue are responsible for the conduction of water and phloem, and the conduction of food material. The water is conducted by xylem, and the phloem conducts the food material. So the xylem and phloems are the conducting tissue, known as the conducting tissue. Xylem is and phloem is not one entity, but there are several kinds of cell inside it. So xylem contains xylem trachea, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers, and likewise the phloem contains sieve tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. That we will read in the next class one by one. Thank you.